Dougherty County School System board briefing. Do we have any public comments? Dougherty. This time, are there any questions about the agenda? Do we have any questions or comments about minutes? For your consideration, we have item number 2, consideration of recommendation, questions or comments, the employment of personnel. 2B, superintendent's contract extension. For your consideration, item item 3, consideration of recommendation for release of personnel. Item 4, consideration of recommendation to approve corrective action plan. Item 5, consideration of recommendation to approve the following: IHA grading systems, IHE promotion and retention, and amend contract with FH. Questions or comments about item 6, consideration of recommendation to approve the following consent items: fundraising request, out-of-state. 7, financial reports. Item 8, any committee reports. Item 9, Mr. Superintendent, are you here to give your report? Okay. We will need a
Good morning, everyone. Superintendent's report. I'm sorry. Good morning, everyone. We do the superintendent's report for August 31st. We'll go over our strategic plan overview, highlight a couple of items there, look at our SPLOST bond investments, look at having discussions about the policy proposals that are for discussion under 9C. Then celebrations and announcements, and then of course an executive session as the board sees fit for personnel. Of course, I started our vision to be a destination school system that, in collaboration with families and other community stakeholders, provides educational and social development experiences that empower its graduates to be successful and impactful contributors to society. Of course, our mission is to meet the academic and non-academic needs of our students with a rigorous and relevant educational experience that equips them to succeed in life. And these are the 5 tenets of our strategic plan: early literacy, academic rigor and relevance, social and emotional wellness, investment in human capital, and family and community engagement. And to start with our academic rigor and relevance, this is our CTAE report. Just a snapshot of the annual report, looking at how we've performed last fiscal year versus the fiscal year prior. And in the pathway assessment, our pass rates increased by 200%. If we look at the recognized credentials, our students earned 395 this year, as compared to 131 last school year. The number of youth science assessments completed, and that youth science is an assessment that looks at the aptitude and interest of students to help them decide what career field might be best for them. And so that's a part of our plan to personalize our instruction. So I can try to make it bigger. Let's see here. I don't think it's bigger than. JD, can you make that bigger at all? Okay. I'm sure you copy it. So you can get it. Other items we had, we had work-based learning. Students that earned, enrolled in work-based learning. We had 285 this year compared to 51 the year prior. And hours worked by work-based learning students over close to 40,000 as compared to a little less than 13,000 last year. So we're really pleased with the way we're moving forward in our career development, career and technical education program, particularly our work-based learning, and those students enrolled in what we consider critical pathways, high-demand pathways, law enforcement, that's 535, health sciences is 457, information technology is 534, and then engineering is 132. So we're looking good in terms of our relevance in education and creating a pipeline for workforce of the future. Our level of initiative, we discussed that last couple of board meetings. We talked about our partnership with Integrity Health Care as well as Auburn Tech to provide job skills training for adult family members of our school system children. And I spoke with Barbara Rivera Holmes, President and CEO of the Albany Chamber of Commerce, and she's going to speak with members of the chamber to find out what businesses need workforce pipeline improvement and to identify the skill sets that are needed. And we'll develop, along with Auburn Tech and other career development organizations, a training program specifically geared toward those businesses so that we'll be able to expand beyond the CNA certification that we just completed with those 5 individuals that went through the program, but also expand to, like I said, welding, HVAC, and other areas that are in demand. And so Barbara's going to lead that effort, finding out what the needs are in the area, and so we can include those trainings in our level of initiative as well. DCSS employee perks. We talked about this for a while, looking at a supplemental benefit program for our employees. The board has certainly enhanced the employee benefits package for our employees. Our public school employee retirement system employees, we increased the match that we provide for them. We've increased, we've added long-term disability insurance that we cover for our employees, and of course the increased pay across the board for our employees. But we still have our goal is to be a destination for the best educators in the state of Georgia, and part of that is yes ma'am, part of that is pay, and we are one of the highest paying districts in our research, if not the highest paying district in our research, in every category in terms of certified employees. The benefits make a difference as well, and we're trying to recruit people from outside the area. As you know, the population in Southwest Georgia, all of the 16 counties in our research, all but 2 have experienced enrollment population decline over the last 10 years. So it's not just a Dougherty County issue, it's a regional issue. And rural Georgia is suffering from people leaving, going to the metro areas, so they see better opportunities. So, when we recruit from those areas, part of the challenge is that they don't see a lot of things to do. You know, they're used to having things to do, and although laid back like that suits some of us, as people who are a little younger or who have children, they tend to want to have activities. So what we were looking at, we've been working on this for a while, is an employee perks program. And what that does is it will provide our employees with access to events in the city just by showing their ID. Now, yes, sir, it is. As a matter of fact, we have a cost of living comparison calculator that we use. And when people talk about the how much more they'll make in a particular area, and we can put in how much you make here, and then how much that would have to be in an Atlanta or anywhere else in order for you to break even in terms of cost of living. So we use that. We use that, and we also let them know that we're in a pretty centralized location. We're 3 hours from Atlanta, 3 hours from Jacksonville, 3.5 hours from Savannah, 3.5 hours from the beach, the Gulf Coast, hour and a half from Tallahassee, and those are day trips for young professionals, certainly weekend trips. And I tell them that if you stay here, you have disposable income to go enjoy yourself when you take those trips versus just being there. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, but we're going to keep using it, and because it's true. And a lot of them, some of them find that out when they go up there. They come back, and we'll yes, ma'am. We have several. Yes, several. Yes, ma'am. And so we're going to continue that. But that's one way to do it. We have to hit them at all angles. But one thing that I think we have to do is provide them with access to activities. And so our Teaching Alliance, that's the Flake River Aquarium, Chi Hall Park, Donatiska Heritage Museum, including the planetarium, and the IMAX Theater, Auburn State Athletics, and then DCSS Athletics. What we were seeking was a fee, flat rate that we could pay to give our employees access to these events just by showing the ID badge. And so our Teaching Alliance, they have a program, and it's $50 per employee with unlimited access throughout the year for DCS's employee and up to 4 guests, I think. Auburn State did not have a program. I asked them to put one together, and they did. And so it'll provide access to our employees to all of the athletics events, home game, regular season. And then DCSS Athletics, we have a program as well, and we've been marketing it, and the city's been participating in it for a couple of years, and that provides unlimited access for your employee to all regular season games that are hosted by Dougherty County. Now, the cost associated with each of these is our Teaching Alliance is $102,000 a year for 2,042 employees. Auburn State is $150,000 a year, and our program based on our sliding scale will be $71,000 a year. So that's a significant amount of money. We're talking about $300,000 per year. And on the surface, it seems like a lot of money. When you look at it per employee, it's really not that much. And what we're trying to do is provide our employees with activities that they can go to and that for them and their families. And the benefits, these organizations, because they don't have to rely on walk-up ticket sales. They can budget for a fixed amount of revenue, and then plus our employees get out in the community, experience what the community has to offer. And so not only do they get the experience, but the best advertising is word of mouth. So when they talk to people about coming here, they talk about the benefits that we provide to them. Now this is for discussion. Just want to get some feedback. If you want to approve and move forward, we can do it. And we're prepared to do it. We have the funding for it. But I had it for discussion. Now I don't want to bring it to you for a decision. It's the first time seeing it. But if you want to move forward with it, if everybody's in favor of it, and you know you're in favor of it, then if you want to move to the action item, we can certainly do that as well. It's up to the board. Do you have any feedback?
Madam Chair, I do have a question. Had the thought or had you considered the Albany Little Theater?
I have not. I did contact Albany Civil Rights Institute. We have not gotten a proposal back from them. I did not think of Albany Little Theater, but I would certainly look out. The arts is something that I'm sure I'm supposed to. Yeah. Okay. And then this is not the total. It's not the end. It's just the beginning. We can add to it. But I would like to set an amount per year that we don't want to exceed. Because I don't want to. But I think we can certainly make those two, the symphony and the little theater.
And maybe even opportunities, you know, if it's not something that we're providing 100% of, but like, you know, because of the volume,
Right.
You know, if there's a discounted whatever season, something. I think it's great, and I think it would certainly benefit the people that are, the organizations that we're partnering with as well. I mean, I'm sure I know the Teaching Alliance and Albany State, you know, shape partnership. Yes, you.
Mr. Dyer, may I ask you something? The two questions: where's the funding will be coming from, and will we be able to keep count of how many employees participate, so we'll know next year, or to find other things, some sort of survey to them?
Yeah, it'll be we'll fund it through general fund as an employee supplemental employee benefit, and subject to approval from auditors, because there's athletes can't be supported with general fund, but this is not supporting athletes. This is an employee benefit, much like in the city of Albany already uses our program, so it's a legitimate program. But I want to get an opinion from them first before we move forward on that. And yes, they will use their ID badge, and we'll provide, if they don't have a reader, we'll provide a barcode reader. So when our employees come through, they'll scan their ID badge and capture the unique employee numbers for the people that come through. So as we go through, after the first contract term is over, we'll know what the usage is, and we can adjust figures downward or upward depending on demand.
Thank you.
Sure. I should have been. Yeah. Well, just what I just said, but I do have it in writing though. It's our Teachers Alliance. They give the employee plus up to 4 guests, unlimited admissions throughout the year. No restrictions. Albany State is the employee only to all regular season home games, and that's all sports. And then Dougherty County School System is also all sports, employee only for middle and high school sports. The discounts range from the face value. Albany State's discount is about 90%, and then discount with the school system is about 95%. It is with 2,000 employees, based on the slide scale that we use. It's up to the board. I know we just talked about it, and if you think it's a no-brainer and you want to do it, that's fine. If you want to wait, give us more thought, then that's fine as well. Whichever you all decide. But we do approve it. I would say approve it subject to. I'm curious with the auditors that it'll be appropriate use of
wait to put it on the agenda with some more information for the next board meeting. Yes, ma'am. Ms. Headley?
I'd like to have opportunity to have access to it in writing, so that I am much more intelligent about what it is I'll be voting, and then perhaps vote on it.
Okay, so yeah, let's get it on the next agenda.
Yes, ma'am. Right. We'll send that out prior to the meeting.
Perfect. Thank you.
Thank you.
The last thing on the agenda is update on our SPLOST fund investments. As you know, we, with the last SPLOST that was passed, we put on the referendum also the uses of bonds, bond revenue to jumpstart some projects. And we did that because we saw the interest rates getting to tick up, and we wanted to lock in low rates prior to what we thought would be a rise in interest rates, and that proved to be true. Interest rates, as you know, are increasing significantly, and our bonds, though, our yield 43 basis points, 0.43%, which is really low. You're not gonna find that nowadays. So we really were able to save some money, because the higher the bond, the higher the interest rate, then the more interest we have to pay, which means less money we have to spend on projects. So we wanted to lock the interest rates in at a low rate, so that we have more money to use for projects. One side of that we were aware of is arbitrage, and arbitrage is when the federal government doesn't allow you to take bond proceeds and pay a low rate on them, invest them at a higher rate, and make money on the difference. So that is bound to happen sometimes, and we certainly are generating a lot more interest revenue on our bonds than we are paying out in bond payments because of the low interest rate we locked in on. So what we have to do is not a punitive measure, just to bring in whatever you make over and above what you invest. You have to do a rebate back to the government. They don't want you making money on it. So what we've done two things to you have to have a spend down in order to if you have a spend down rate, a certain rate, then you don't have to pay the arbitrage. And of course, with COVID and the delays in construction and increasing construction costs, we delayed moving forward to the costs come back down to closer to normal. I don't think they're ever going to get back to where they were, but they're much lower than they were about 2 years ago. So what I've done is engage with Raymond James about several different options. But first, what we did was we used our SPLOST funds on our HVAC projects and other eligible projects to do the spend downs. We'll spend less money, but we spend those using bond funds. So we have fewer bond funds and less bond funds rather in our account. And we'll use the SPLOST money that we have already for our projects moving forward. And we may have hit our spend down requirements. But if not, we will significantly reduce the amount of arbitrage rebate that we have to pay. I know I'm talking maybe talking over your head, but I want to give you an update on this. The other thing that we're looking at doing, they have investment instrument known as slugs. Doesn't sound too appealing, but it stands for state and local government securities. And those, if you invest in those securities, they are exempt. The earnings are exempt from the arbitrage rebates. So all the money that we earn using those instruments, we get to keep. Now, prior to market rate, the market expand and interest rates increasing, it did make sense to do slugs because they're relatively low. And as a matter of fact, I don't think people have been investing in slugs over the last 20 years because of not the last 20 years, the last 10 years at least, because of the low interest rates. But we think it makes sense now. The yield is probably a few basis points below what we can get from Georgia Fund 1 or U.S. Treasury. But since you don't have to pay arbitrage on it, it makes sense that we can retain all of the interest earned on it. And so, and this is just looking at our expenditures and our how it relates to arbitrage. The faster your expenditures, the spend down rate I alluded to, or the lower your interest rate, the less arbitrage you pay. The higher your interest rates, or the slower your expenditures, usually the more arbitrage you have to pay. And so what we're trying to do is make sure we get our spend down when using our existing capital projects, even though our new capital projects did not get off the ground as we initially scheduled because of the delays associated with COVID. But the interest rates kept going up. And so I think we have pretty fast expenditures, but interest rates were increasing higher. So I think on the expenditure side, we're in good shape. On the rate side, we really can't control that. And I like the rates being a little higher, not too high, but a little higher, we get better return on it. But using slugs, we can retain or keep the interest that we earn versus having to pay it back in rebate to the federal government. So that's just an entree where I have a proposal after we doing an analysis to look at exactly what our arbitrage rebate projection is and how much we can save if we move towards slugs versus the current investment vehicles. So I'll have more details at the next board meeting. Always trying to find ways to leverage our resources and so we have more to use for our students in our buildings in this case. All right, celebration and announcements. I mentioned before the last board meeting about Dr. Corbett presenting at a State of the Community luncheon. They're talking about workforce development and in its connection with literacy. And she did a wonderful job with that. And then our second employee appreciation DCSS moment for the year is employee appreciation game night. This Friday night, Dougherty High School will be taking on Stockbridge. Last year they beat Stockbridge by 1 point in Atlanta, and they say they're coming back for revenge. And I'm saying it's going to be a repeat. So we'll see who's right. But we encourage all of our employees to come out, free admission, and free popcorn, hot dogs, sodas, and concessions. So looking forward to that. And it's been fun the last 2 years. And we're looking forward to another wonderful time this year. And so feel free to come out if you will. We'll be on the west side. Dougherty's home side is the east side. It's also the alumni weekend. And we thought about having our employees sit on that side. We thought it might be a little crowded. So we're going to sit on the west side so that way they can cheer from both sides. But we use a concession stand on the west end, but we're going to have a tent set up on the Dougherty side. So employees who choose to sit over there, particularly the Dougherty High employees, will have access to the free concessions as well. Trying to think about everything.
How do we get in? Do we get in without a badge? Or?
Yeah, you just get them in your badge. You can find it. Yeah. And if any board member just as an aside needs assistance signing up for this, you just say, we can give you that. But I think the challenge last year, try to do it on the phone. You have to do it on the computer first. Right. And I think that was the issue. But if you need some assistance on that, just let us know. That's all I have, Madam Chair. Are there any questions or comments?
It concerned Lake Park and zoning and students possibly out of zone, something resulted from the pandemic, and there was a concern with overcrowding. And I just want to bring that to your attention. I know there's nothing to be done today, but I know you were looking into that or aware of it.
Yes, sir. We're doing a study across the system right now, and part of that is looking at out of zone students. As a matter of fact, Ms. Wood just sent, I think it was 2 days ago, we sent a report. I requested a report for to look at our out of zone students and to make sure they had the proper documentation to be in that particular school. So we've gotten that report, we're reviewing that now. And Lake Park is a school that has higher than average number of students who are out of zone. And so we are looking at that and don't have a timeline on it. If we do need to make some adjustments, if people are out of zone inappropriately, then we typically won't have a move in the middle of the grading period. It'll be at the end of the 9 weeks. And we can notice for that. So we are looking at that. Yes, sir. And we'll keep you updated.
Wanted to relay that concern.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Anything else?
At this time, should we get a motion to go? I'll entertain a motion to go into executive session.
Madam Chair, I move that we move into executive session. This time.
Discuss personnel, I'm sorry.
Personnel.
For personnel.
Second motion.
All in favor? Opposed? We are now in executive session and the board will be exiting the room so the audience can, keep their seats. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. This time we'll begin our regular board meeting. I ask everyone to stand for a moment of silence in the Pledge of Allegiance. Mr. Superintendent, do we have any public comments or presentations? Right. This time I'll entertain a motion to adopt the agenda.
Madam Chair, I move the adoption of the agenda.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The agenda passes. Are there any changes to the minutes for the August 12th, 2023 meeting? If not, I'll entertain a motion to approve the minutes.
Make a motion that we approve the minutes as presented.
Second pool.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. I'll entertain a motion to approve a consent agenda items 2 through 8. Oh, sorry, 2 through 6B, and we're gonna pull out item 2B for approval on its own. So, motion for consent agenda items 2 through 6B with the exception of item 2B.
So move pool.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Madam Chair, I abstain on the name, Brenda Finney meant in the,
Thank you, sir.
yes, ma'am.
All right. At this time, I'll entertain a motion to approve the superintendent's contract extension as agreed upon.
Madam Chair, I
Yep.
move to approve the superintendent's contract as agreed upon.
Second pool.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, the motion passes. Are there any other questions or comments? This time, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So move pool.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Y'all want to stay? Any opposed? The motion passes. We are now adjourned.